What's going on, everybody? Sean Daniel here with Guitar Control. Today we're giving you an extra dose of happiness, which everybody needs. Learning a super simple song, Don't Worry, Be Happy, by Bobby McFerrin. Absolute crowd pleaser. It's going to take you less than 10 minutes to learn the song forever. We're going to play it with the capo on the 4th fret. Feel free to play it in whatever key you want, but we're just going to use 3 chords and the truth for 4 slots. G, A minor, C, G. So, the song is really easy to learn. We're going to talk a little bit about strumming it to kind of give it that happy, peppy step. And it's going to sound like this. Works better if you sway back and forth. Really sell it, you know what I mean? So, you should know these chords right off the bat. 3 most popular chords in guitar history. We're gonna do this G major chord. Middle finger on the 3rd fret relative to the capo, low E string, pointer finger 2nd fret on the A string, and then my ring finger and my pinky have the 3rd fret together. You don't need all 3 or both of them. You could have just the high E string, but you know, this is about being happy. We're getting all your fingers involved, leaving no digit behind right here. So let's talk about how we're gonna strum this first. I think this is the happiest way you could possibly strum a chord, right? Especially when you're really feeling it, you know what I mean? Hitting the root note first. So we're going right from the lowest point of the chord, just like you may have been at your lowest point in life before clicking on this incredibly happy video, to the highest point, which is you right after you clicked on the video, right? So we have low, high. The dynamic of life and happiness. You can't have the highs without the lows. That's the strumming pattern. The root note, then I'm aiming for just the top of the chord. When I say the top, I just mean maybe the G, B, and E strings. If I hit more of them, great. If I hit less, don't worry about it. Root chord. I'm separating the entire guitar chord into just the E string and the highest 3 strings. So 1, 2, 3, and 4 and. Okay? So now the 3 and of this 4 count, this bar of G, is going to be the lower 3 strings down and up. Just on the lower 3 strings and not all 6 of them, right? If you're living like this, that's not happy. That's the sound of insanity, and you probably need to get your medication changed, right? So we have low, high, then the lowest 3 strings, down, up. And then on the 4 count, I'm getting another downstroke of just the high strings again. So low, high, low, low, high. And then if you want to get an upstroke at the end too, that would be a 1, 2, 3, and 4 count, otherwise known in commoners' terms as down, 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 up, down, up. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and down, 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 up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up, down, 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 up, down. Again, so that's going to be kind of like the vibe that we're going to be using. We're just going to do that with 2 other chords. Next one is going to go A minor. Same strumming pattern, but now the root note in an A minor chord where we have open A, middle finger 2D, ring finger 2G, pointer finger 1B, and then open on the high string. The root note is going to be the A string. So we're going to aim for the A string when we go. If you hit the low E string on accident, not a big deal, okay? Don't worry about it. Once again, do I have to even say it? But we're aiming for that root note because eventually you want to be able to just hit exactly whichever note, string you're looking for without having to look at it, right? So A, the higher part of the chord. Same thing as before. Down, up on the lower part of the chord, down, up on the higher part of the chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And C chord. Again, a lot of people play C like this. Ring finger, 3rd fret of the A string. Middle finger, 2nd fret of the D string. Pointer finger, 1st fret of the B string. Then, our root note is on the A string. I like playing it like this, where I have my ring finger 1 string lower, my pinky right behind it. Root note is still in the same spot, but again, we're getting all the fingers involved. We're just having a party, throwing a happiness party. Back to G. So there's only 3 chords, but there's 4 spots for chords, okay? Every chord gets its own bar. G, A minor, C, and G again. Now, when you're counting it, you might only want to play that G once, but again, remember, 8 counts on that G if you cycle it. So again, G, A minor, C, G, back into G again. That's why sometimes it's helpful to have some kind of mechanism in place to start it again. What I mean by that is, like, I'll do an example. So we have G to A minor, 2, 3, and 4 again, to C major, to G major. So again, you may have noticed at the end of that last bar of G, I just did all downstrokes. There's C, right? 2, 3, and 4, and G. 2, 3, 4, and G. 2, 3, 4, back to G. And because I made that dynamic of it's G, 2, 3, 4, the next time around, when I hit the root note on the G, it doesn't seem like I'm doing the same thing. Instead of just like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Now I'm lost, right? That's not the sound of happiness. That's the sound of the slow, inevitable march to death. You don't want to have that. You want to have a little bit of action. We're only here for short time, people. That's why I did a great decision by choosing a guitar control video with Sean Daniel to watch today. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm palm muting it. The thing about palm muting, just like in life, is you're muffling your happiness. Because you don't want to be all overboard telling people how happy you are. There's nothing more annoying than that. The way I'm doing that is taking the side of my hand, judo chop the bridge. And that's another thing to get good at, is just anchoring. See, like if you look at my wrist, right? When I'm doing this, I'm locked in to the bridge here. I'm not, okay? A lot more control. You can do anything you want by having your, your wrist locked in. You can do anything. All you need to do is get this action down right here, okay? So again, you can do it muted for maybe like the verse. Everything is still applying. Low, high, down, up, low, high, down, up, A minor. And see how much more reserved that is? It's like business casual happiness. Back to G. And then when you get home, take off your shoes, make a nice bath, open it up. Okay, so the last thing I want to talk about is how we number this chord progression. Again, this is on a capo. This is in the key of, wherever we're ending here, which is a G. This isn't actually a G note. This is the 3rd fret relative to the capo. But this note right here is actually a B. So we're doing this in the key of B. If we were to move the capo 1 fret lower, we'd be doing it in B flat, another one, A, so on, and so forth, right? Until we'd eventually get to doing it in the key of G, like this. That's why capos are great, because they can kind of help us transpose songs depending on where you want to sing them. If you don't have a capo, don't worry. We can transpose this, because all this is a really common chord progression. It's what's called a 1 chord, to the 2, to the 2 chord, to the 4 chord, to the 1. 1, 2, 4, 1. The way I got this was from the notes in the key of G, right? Since this is G, A minor, C, G, we can label this and communicate with other musicians because communication is a great way to keep the happiness flowing, right? In the key of G, we have 7 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The first note is a G. That's why it's the 1 chord. Any one of these notes can become a chord. The 1 chord to the 2 chord, A, happens to be minor. The 2 chord is almost always minor in any key. 1, 2, 3, 4. C is the 4th note. G, A, B, C. The 4 chord becomes C major, back to G. So that's a 1, 2, 4, 1. The sound of pure happiness. All right. Now, if you don't have a capo, you can do it with different chords, right? Sky, what's a 1, 2, 4, 1? Let's say maybe that's I want to do it a little bit higher. Let's do it in the key of A. All you have to do is find out what A is, right? You know A. There's 1, 2 in A. What's the note after A? B minor. What's 4 in A? 1, 2, 3, 4. D. Back to A. Bum, 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 bum. Da, 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 da. So that's how you can easily transpose even if you don't have a capo to find whatever one is easiest for you to sing in, okay? So again, make sure you click that link below because we have the chords of it, all the lyrics, and you know what? Make up your own lyrics because no one will know the difference as long as it's not too dark. So thanks for sticking with us. Thanks for checking out the Guitar Control channel. Make sure you click around to watch other videos by myself and other great instructors, and we'll talk to you all soon. Thanks a lot.